I wanted to actually drive this time and kind of show you something
Do
that
it.
I was playing around with last night. We'll see if it comes through for me today. But so one thing in Hall of Fame bets is I like using this trends tab a lot, and it's not just for player props. Even though
Sorry. Bets are just cashing all over the place live. This
What
is
do we have
happening.
Let me go see, by the way.
Go. Yeah, like Buzzy jumping into the chat right away. But Hoppy just immediately cash. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
It's just
I need the White Sox to score like 3 more runs on their own. Of course, like Kansas City is just deciding to be completely inept at the plate today, and I love the over in that game. And one side is scoring runs, but the other one is not.
I had both teams at 3, but later I will show you why my initial text to you was I like the White Sox. I'll show you when we get there.
Yeah.
I like learning
how you and I were both
given we both design like it. You did the technical build and all the heavy lift on the site, but it's always fun when you and I see how both of us use the tools that we like. The tools that we like, how we both use Hall of Fame bets differently, not in a bad way, and how we both use handicrafts differently. Again, not in a bad way.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's just it's no, it's not. It's well, you know me. I'll definitely tell someone if I think they're doing it the bad way. But like, do you want to? We should have an episode where you just read text that I send you, like the other, like
I'm just gonna go into the Discord where
you're like, oh man, you were really
just gonna read text for text on why your bet sucks. There's literally a channel.
There's an entire channel. No, but it's no, because I like watching your stuff because there's different ways that I do it. You're also one of like 2 people that I actually trust on bets. So anyway, go on. I'm not hijacking.
He's buttering me up after I was about ready to kick him off the show. So thank you for that. So anyways, no. So on the trends tab though, I've got a ton of filters listed here, but that's just because I'm selecting all the games for tomorrow because you're still going to see the games for today. So I put in all the games, but on the trends tab, you can use teams for different types of trends on here. So it's not just player props. And one cool thing that you can use as a way to like start trying to find a bet for tomorrow is going into this tab and then playing around with some things like team runs, total runs, maybe runs allowed. And then I'm looking for stuff that might have like a decent matchup grade. So when we get to football season, like this matters, in my opinion, a lot more. But this is still a good, like quick filter you can put on here to start narrowing down. Oh, hey, like between starting pitcher and bullpen, this offense may have a pretty good matchup. Like that's really all this matchup filter is doing. And then I set this to over. So here tomorrow are the teams that have a matchup greater than B, have a B grade, and they've been kind of like they've been scoring runs, at least when you look at it based on trends, and then based on the price. That's the implied probability of what it should be versus what the actual odds are. So there's a couple on here. Like I went and looked at Braves, didn't really love the matchup just given like Sandy's actually been, I don't know if you noticed this, but Sandy's been quite good.
He's been great. He's been great. He's been a sneaky,
he's been
a super sneaky under on my unders, my unders tab on handicrafts. Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I think avoid that one. But the one that stuck out to me was I looked at the Rangers. I just can't quit this team in terms of finding a way to make or lose money on them rather. But you could see like over 3.5 runs. Like I'm seeing, okay, 11% edge. They've been over this every single game in their last 5, 7 of their last 10. So you can go here to that leaders right over here. And then what I like to do is, so I want to see like, okay, if you've been scoring runs, is it by luck or are you actually like getting a lot of guys on bases? And you can see in team total bases, if you toggle over to teams, you go to batting, and you just do stat team total bases. I'm looking for at least 13. Not surprised that the Mets here are number 1, and although Philly's number 2 in the last 5, but Rangers are 3rd in that category. So I'm like, okay, well, they're getting a lot of bases that correlates with their scoring runs. So it just means in general to me, like this team has been hitting. And then what I'm going to do is I go into handigraphs. So now I've got sort of like just got my laser beam on the Rangers and I want to see what their matchup looks like, at least a little bit more granular from the split side. And you can see like they've got Kikuchi, which obviously the season stats look good. He's been garbage lately. 5.06 ERA. And you can see like all the batted ball stuff with him has been horrible. So clearly he's regressed a lot, and kind of like this is like who he is, by the way. Like you and I both know this. Like he can be awesome for long stretches, and then he just totally like turns into a pumpkin. So last season it was just a reverse. So I look here and I'm like, all right, well they got Kikuchi, and then I go over to my batters tab, and I go, okay, last 30 against left-handers, not like amazing on the Rangers side, but look at that ISO, pretty good down the line for tomorrow's matchup between Langford, Higashida, Garcia, Freeman. And then I go to team stats. I'm like, okay, well, in the last month.
Who the hell is Cody Freeman?
I have no idea.
Some of these guys who are on the Rangers, I've literally never heard of.
You know what I'm saying, Adam? I'm just glad he's no longer undefined.
I'm really just glad we don't have to worry about any Rangers liability anymore.
Yeah, me too. But day to day, I'm okay to still.
We have one last one to worry about. They have more wins than the Orioles, which I think.
And by the way, but you see Marcus Semien broke his foot, so he's
I know.
And
Adley got kicked off the team. Adley got kicked off the Orioles, so both of those, not to get excited, but yeah, both those bets are fine.
So
keep going.
I go to the team stats right here, and again, like they're not like tremendous in terms of the last 4 weeks, but still pretty decent. And I know from Hall of Fame bets that they're hitting the ball pretty well, and just in general. So, okay, that sort of checks the box there. And then all I need to do is I'm just going to go into Texas Rangers, and, I can go and see like total runs and just start kind of building that trend. And actually, like, they've scored 7 or more runs. This is actually kind of wild to me. They've scored 7 or more runs in 9 of their last 10. They're averaging 9.5 runs per game. So, remember that 3.5, we don't see the odds for tomorrow just yet, but 3.5 already on DraftKings said minus 145. This team's, again, they've scored 7 or more in 9 of their last 10, depending on their game tonight. So I like a Texas team total over. It's just like kind of a quick eyeball. But dude, this is how, when I was texting you last night, this is why I looked at the White Sox. I'm like, man, like the White Sox are popping off on a lot of this stuff for
they don't strike out
bases.
That's part of the thing. That's part of the thing with this Rangers thing. I don't care if a team's not hitting. If you're not striking out, then you're always in play because you're putting the ball in play. Like the Rangers team, if you look at that, I don't know if you the handy tab, but if you go to the handicap tab, you were pointing out the ISO. None of those guys, nobody on that team is striking out. It's great. So anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Pretty decent Woba and Babbitt. I mean, that's really all I got in terms of just kind of using those two. I mean, do you ever use the trends like filtering based on team, or do you specifically just use it for player?
Oh, I use it mostly for team. When I first fell in love with Hall of Fame bets, oh man, did you see I'm like, dude, team strikeouts and team bases. And it's great because
that makes a lot.
I just like it a lot.
A ton of the team markets.
I was playing a ton of it, and I murdered that market. But I played around on leaders, and then I eventually was like, oh, I could go to stats. There's a lot of reasons why I like that app, and I find new things every day. And Brian and that team are just building really good stuff over there. And I the desktop app kind of changed the game on everything for me with them. I just constantly have it up, and I think it's a great tool. And again, everybody who's listening, dads, go figure, that's our code. And it helps support the show, helps support a sponsor of the show. And and you can also always, when you are watching this stuff and you're using our site or their site, you have a question, just hit us up, because we're in both of these all day. And so we have really good sense of how to do things.